Welcome back to the Urban Action Showcase virtual experience. I'm your host and founder, Demetrius Angelo, and I'm excited to take you behind the action of SHANG CHI.
No.
SHANG CHI. So we've got our moderator here from Kung Fu Drive-In Podcast, Jeff Vita. We've got action director, Andy Cheng. We've got stunt coordinator and action director, as well as fight choreographer, and shall I mention a former alumni winner of the Urban Action Showcase International Action Film Festival, Mr. Joseph Lee, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. So I'm no stunt coordinator. Yeah.
Well, you did all those
so that I don't get blasted by the community.
I cannot hear a good sound here.
Well, I'm talking about all your independent stuff, man. You've done a lot before you came on to Marvel, man. You've done a lot.
Is it happening? Sounds like slow motion. Do you guys hear that?
It's probably lagging on Andy's end.
Yeah, but you sound good. Jeff, take the reins, sir.
Demetrius, thanks so much. Andy, don't worry about it. You're coming through loud and clear.
But he can't hear us.
Okay.
Oh man.
All right. You might need to restart.
Oh, Andy, are you using Wi-Fi or
All right.
Dang it! Andy, I don't want to be alone in this talk.
No worries, Andy. You jump in whenever your connection gets better, hopefully. But Joseph, Andy, thank you so much for hopping on today to talk about SHANG CHI. Still an amazing movie. It is now on Disney Plus. Marvel Assembled is doing a behind the scenes on SHANG CHI. Still an impactful and important film, I think. But let's get right into it then. Now that you guys have had some time between you and the film, Joseph, what's your biggest takeaway from what the film has done and what it's currently doing in the industry today?
Yeah. My biggest takeaway is that I feel like it's just gonna open the door for a lot of East Asian centered stories, and not only just like jumpstarting martial arts films, but like empowering any type of marginalized group to shine and share their unique culture. And like. Andy, you good? You can hear us? Oh man.
Hey, there's Malay Kim.
Malay.
Hey. Andy, how are you?
Let's step out.
All right. Hey, Malay, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you doing? All right, how do I?
Thanks for hopping on.
Oh yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Oh, now I hear some sound. That's good.
Yeah, we good?
Sorry, Andy, I hear all.
Yeah.
No worries. So, Malay, let me catch you up real quickly. Joseph was talking about now that you guys have had some space between you and the film, what his biggest takeaway was. Joseph, you were talking about opening it up for Asian creators. You want to finish your thought there?
Yeah, and I just felt like after a while, it felt like a great magnum opus kung fu film, and kind of like took the best of what came before it and kind of reinvented it for the next generation to carry on and create after that. Yeah,
that's awesome. Malay, how about you? You're jumping on now. You've had some space between you and the film. What are your biggest takeaways from what the film has done and what it's still doing for the industry?
I think for me personally, it's the thing I took away the most was the style of cinematography. It's something I've never encountered before, especially on a big film. I've always done TV shows or smaller movies, but this is the first time I've been on such a production, and learning how the way the camera department works with the team and everything. I think that's my biggest takeaway personally that I'd like to improve on. But in terms of like for the industry, it's like Joseph said, it's opened like a bigger gateway for more representation in Asian community, and I hope that this inspires more, the younger audience, even the generation now, to keep moving forward and not let anything hold them back.
Yeah. And hopefully it'll help make the industry respect the stunt department more and kind of lean on stunts to also push the story forward, and for stunt teams to incorporate more storytelling and vice versa. Just more trust between.
That's awesome. Unfortunately, Andy seems to be having some technical issues, so we'll get to him when he hops back on. But there you are again, Andy. You all right?
Can you hear us?
I'm all right. I'm so sorry, my friend.
No worries.
For some reason, I went in Malibu, the top of the hill. I don't know, the Wi-Fi or something is weird, so I keep dropping, and then I just supporting. So you guys see me here.
While I have you right here, then let me ask you before your Wi-Fi cuts out again. Now that you've had some space between you and the film, what is one of your biggest takeaways from what the film has done and what it continues to do for the industry?
I think it's good. The success, from the box office or even all the review. I think there's a big step for the Asian people, or Asian culture, or even martial art movie in the this kind of scale. Not like always, people thinking about martial art movies are always like a B movie. So this is open up the door. Martial art movie can have a great storytelling too. And I think Dustin did an amazing job. I mean, the movie, give us a lot of hope, eventually, I think the martial art movie right now have this success. I think this is really opened the door for a lot of, young talent like Joseph, Malay, or, all the young filmmaker, they like favor on, action movie or martial art movie. This is really open up the door for them. I think, it's good, it's not only, car movie, sometimes it's different kind of action, now we kind of like step into it, and hopefully we continue going, and then all the young filmmakers, now they see this success, everyone will work even harder, try to get into it, so earn more respect from, producer, studio, or even the audience, so they can see beside, Chopsaki, they still have story, and I think it really, really opened the door.
Yeah. So on that point, Andy, and I'll start with you on this. As filmmakers, all of you doing your own thing, what kind of things did you learn on Shang-Chi that you're going to continue in your own filmmaking endeavors?
Joseph.
Okay, I will start. Man, I learned a lot from everyone. I was only there for 3 months, but it felt like a lot. I think first and foremost, I learned from Brad Allen, leadership style. I mean, I felt like he always made sure the little guy in the room was heard or had their ideas, channeled out and executed. And just doing that kind of like encourages everyone in the room to overall be looking out for each other, like big brother and little brother. And just like assembling a diverse team with like flexible artists who are comfortable with tag teaming with each other and swapping so many times, but still being on the same page. I learned from Andy how to be explosive with your creativity and just bring a lot of joy onto the set, and how that energy can be like really magnetic, and just watching Andy work and Vidan and everybody, like never giving up under any circumstances. And even though like, the bus sequence, it was like probably one of the most challenging previses. And we would get a lot of feedback, and it was weighing a lot of people down. But every time Andy got feedback, he would not complain or do whatever. He would immediately bounce back with a solution. And I really like that attitude. So yeah, that's some stuff I learned that I want to continue. Yeah.
Malay, how about you?
It's it's almost hard for me to find things that I haven't encountered before, only because in terms of being part of a creative team, I was only majority wise, I was only the beginning part. After that, I was just a performer. But when I first was brought in to help Chris design the second half of the father-son fight, again, it's the shooting style and the way Chris likes to think outside the box when he designs this action. And it was more freeing for me because I don't have to worry about what moments in the acting to choreograph with. So I was brought out with Lou, and we were choreographing. Like Chris would go to second unit and shoot something, and he'd leave it to just me and Lou. And then so with just the acting notes that Chris gave us, it's like, okay, let's give him these exact moments. And it was like we didn't have such a hard time with the story moments because it was already there. All we have to do was come up with the pieces that fit in. And I think that was more gave us more room to expand the choreography. And then if Chris enjoyed it, he pretty much didn't not like anything. He liked everything that anyone came up with. He was very creative in the sense of like, I'll make it work to what I need for the story moments. And I think when I tend to shoot my own stuff, I'm very crucial. But understanding that if you're gonna have a team, you gotta trust them more. You gotta let them do what you hired them for. And I think like Joseph was saying, Brad assembled a really great team. Everyone was able to trust each other with no fuss. Sure, there was maybe some creative differences, but it was never anything that would take us that would slow us down from our jobs. And I think learning from this is like teamwork is very important, especially we have a team from China, we have a team from Mongolia, a team from Australia, teams from LA, and being able to work together. I think that's a beautiful process.
That's awesome. Great shout out to Chris Cowan there. Andy, what about you? What kind of lessons did you take from Shang-Chi that you're gonna continue with your own filmmaking?
Yeah, I think this is my really first one, a reunion with Brad. We've been a teammate, brothers, family for a long time, and this is finally I come back. When we start this Shang-Chi, went to helping and work together, and I learned a lot from what to see, how we've been doing, because the way he did is so different. I think he's a very pioneer from what he does, with a lot of new talent. And he create, I don't think anyone can steal from it. I think he create action design. I mean, he create this, little, using YouTuber or a filmmaker, create a Young or Joseph Whedon, a lot of talent from the YouTube. He picking very talent kids, young talent, and put together and doing a big movie, big production. So I think he give a lot of opportunity for those new talent, right, and open the door. And I learned, he had very clear vision. He know which part, how he want to divide the team and who doing that. So that's very different than my own style, or the style I learned from Jackie. And we always like one team. We're doing one thing. Everyone jump into it. It's not like, okay, you take care of this part, you take care of this part. We're not. Mostly, everyone involved. Even somebody in charge, and everyone's kind of involved. And in this case, in Shang-Chi, I let he divided really clear. I take over the bus. Pang do the scaffold, or Chris doing the opening or ending. So everyone had a responsibility, but at the same time, he he do really good with the connect together, and then make sure tone and the pacing, and then also he give a lot of freedom, like what Joseph say. He give a lot of freedom for all the people, not even say you in charge, then you just the soldier. The soldier can speak out too. So I think this is kind of very interesting for me to learn from him, to how to, because the scale is so big, so that's why I think this is very interesting for me to learn, and our style and we always only one team, one leader, and then everyone is a one group. Instead, divide a little more specific. I see both sides have something very interesting for me, and I like it. I think from what I learned from this moment, I learned is everyone have chance to work together, as a team or as a family. When you're doing the movie, you got to learn one thing. It's just have to enjoy the moment, enjoy this few months, together, or half year, because you will never know you will see them again. You never know you will work again together. So I mean, as said, like why I think, like today or yesterday, I mean recently, I haven't seen the behind the scenes stuff, and then people pull up and screenshot, those Brad together and with Dustin. I see those pictures, like it's sad.
Sure. He was such a force in the industry, and on Shang-Chi, it's such a way to do it that hopefully has an impact across the board in action entertainment. So we'll see how that goes. But it's I said it before. It's a great legacy to leave behind that Shang-Chi is doing what it's doing, and it's great that that Brad's work can be remembered that way. On that note, Malay, let me start with you. Where in the process did you really kind of feel Brad Allen's intensity and focus really coming into play during Shang-Chi?
I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Well, I had two different encounters with Brad. One was for the fight with Chris, and then one was for to double Guangbo, which Andy he was the one that put me up for to double Yuen Wah for that. So I always thank him to remind him. But he's not really such an intense. He doesn't have an intense personality. He's very open to ideas. He's very open to what you have to offer. And when he first approached me, he came at me in such a very humble way. I felt like he was trying to lift me up and respect me more than I should be respecting him. When he approached me to double, he was just like, I'm glad you're staying. I'm very happy you're staying. Please let me know if you need anything. I will make it work for you and the rest of the team. It's such a very humble experience. And then while shooting on set, he's in his second unit tent, but after every wire gag, he would come out to me and be like, "Are you okay? Are you doing well? Do you need any changes?" And I never felt any pressure from him at all. And that's very a rare thing to say when you're working for big second unit directors or big stunt coordinators. It's you feel a lot of pressure, but with Brad, I felt very at ease. It almost felt like I was just on a bigger budget indie shoot. You know what I mean? It's just very laid back, very. There was pressure, multi-million. Of course, there's the pressure because you're working on such a big Marvel project, but he just makes it more forgiving for you.
Yeah, Joseph, you agree with all that?
Well, I was there earlier, from October to December, and well, I would always kind of like send Brad iterations of the previous through WhatsApp, and then sometimes he would like message me back like, "Come see me," and then I had to like walk to his office and
like the principal's office.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was just a lot of pressure because it's my first feature film ever, and major imposter syndrome. So most of it was probably in my head. But every time I had to explain to him like a fight beat, a stunt, or a VFX move, it definitely had to have purpose. And I had to explain it to him from a story standpoint and a filmmaking standpoint. Because if it was just because this move is cool, or because we're doing this kick, because why not? Like, he would not accept it. And like, so I always had to be, covering all of my bases when presenting my ideas, and hitting all the story points, making sure the characters were consistent. And I would remember like Brad would, pull up the previs on the TV or his laptop and just like frame by frame, just like do, and then like, what is this egg? Why is he waiting? What's this delayed reaction? Like, very nitpicky. So we had to really be on our A game. And yeah. But yeah, I appreciated him for respecting all of us as filmmakers, and he pretty much used me also when Young would be doing VFX and taking care of the story points. Chris is shooting with Pong. Vidan is shooting with Andy Cheng. I would be like, I really wanted something to do. So Brad actually used me to storyboard a lot of things and actually pitch it to the producers and Destin, like the end fight with the dragon, pose design, Carfu, like early layouts of like the village fight. So just slowly, while I was like explaining my feedback, he kind of trusted this whole, me as like storyteller in an action design team, which I felt like was different.
Yeah. It sounds like he went out of his way to make everybody feel a part of the production, which in business, if the team feels like they're invested in the company, that performance just ups everybody's game, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Andy, while I have you and your connection seems stable right now, you worked with Brad the closest, I would think, throughout all of this. So where did you really feel his intensity and focus come into play?
I think maybe we know each other too long, so he's always like this, it doesn't really like.
Yep.
Oh,
wait.
Oh,
you froze again.
Breaking up.
All right. All right, we'll come back to Andy. But let me ask.
oh, he's kind of there.
No.
Yeah, we hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, how about now?
There you go.
Yeah, better.
Okay.
Looks like you're in heaven.
So,
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I know him too long. He's been always like this. I think everyone think he's very intense, but yeah, he's just a quiet guy. Responsibility and in the show. So I'm fine with that. I like it. Sometimes when you're with the young talent.
Dang it, Malibu Mountains.
No.
All right. Okay. Let's move on, and then we'll get back to Andy when he comes back. But Joseph, you guys are you hang out with a lot of industry folks, obviously. So maybe you don't hear as much from just the regular fan about the film. But if you did, what are you hearing from just the regular guys that they find as the most impactful part of the film for them? Just the regular fans, not the guys who were in and around the industry.
Yeah, the regular fans, they said, well, always the first thing they said were the action sequences were like unlike the other Marvel films, and it was the best. And like a lot of my Asian friends were saying like, yeah, I don't think non-Asian people would get the subtext of this movie, and they would be like missing out on a lot of that stuff. And I don't know, a lot of people saw themselves in Shang Chi, Jia Ling, everyone in the film. So it was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Malay, what about you? What do you hear from the regular fans?
I'm trying to. Everyone that I know that has an opinion has a biased viewpoint because they're either in the industry or they're just Asian and not in the industry. So I have like and every Asian friends that I have who aren't in the industry, they all loved it. Their parents love it. Like I have a Taiwanese friend of mine. They've been watching it 24/7 consistently. Him and his family, and it's very reassuring in terms of like we've had so many quote unquote fails to represent Asian in movies, and it's always depicted wrong or the storytelling wasn't great. But I think with Shang-Chi, it did such a great balance of westernizing some Asian and Chinese culture that I don't think anyone felt like they were missing out much. It was more kind of like a learning tool for the Western audience to understand. Oh, this is Chinese culture, kind of westernized. They've seen Hong Kong and Chinese films. They've seen Crouching Tiger. They've seen Hero, but that was just straight up for the Chinese audience. And I think this was a great way for the Western audience to understand, like, hey, we have stuff like I've said before, even though we're Asian, we do everything the same as everyone else. We cry the same, we love the same, we laugh the same, and I think this is a good way to show, like, for anyone else to understand with this action, and the family, the story was so important in the storytelling of family that anyone can understand that, and I think
Relatable.
everyone took that with them, and everyone understood it very well.
Yeah,
No hate.
for sure.
Yeah.
Andy's flashing in and out here. Andy, can you hear us all?
He's
I
he's
think
frozen.
He's
He's frozen. Oh no.
He's saying, yeah.
It's a great freeze frame though.
Oh man.
So we got some great messages there from some of the audience members. The fighting was amazing in the film, and some love from Hector Soria from NYC. But let's go on the other side of things now, because as filmmakers, I know you guys are critical of your work. I know it. Anybody who takes pride in the work that they do is always critical about the stuff that they work on. So when you watch the film now, where are you critical about things that are going on screen, where you maybe would have done it a different way? Joseph, let's start with you.
Oh man, I have a lot.
Time to get
I still love the
blacklisted.
film. I still love the film.
Of
Please
course,
hire me for the sequel. But
I'm gonna get blacklisted.
yeah, I thought, like, when I was watching it the first time, and then Shang-Chi was like telling Katie, "I need to kill my father." I'm like, whoa, where did this come from? And I just wish we saw more scenes of Shang-Chi battling with his dark assassin habits.
I agree.
And just kind of like him having that restraint, like, oh, I mean, we saw it when he was fighting the Death Dealer, and maybe it's because of the PG-13 rating. We couldn't see, like, see the guy that he tossed off the bus, or, in the scaffold. But so that, I thought came out of nowhere. But I could see how they put it in, and I felt like the father died too quickly. I wish he put up more of a fight against the Soul Eater. But actually, Chris Cowan over Korean Barbecue did tell me they shot a fight sequence between Wenwu and Soul Eater, but then they cut it out, probably because of pacing. And cinematography, production, design-wise, it was fantastic. But the village fight and the first fight with the mom and dad, it looked too stagey, in my opinion. It's just the lighting. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, and what they did to Death Dealer was hella dirty. so many possibilities with that character, and you just killed him. Yeah.
It's the Marvel universe. Everybody comes back from the dead, so I wouldn't write him off just yet.
Yeah.
Malay, how about you?
Let's do Andy before he leaves again.
Yeah. Andy.
Andy.
Being just
So
bad. I'm bad.
good. So we were just asking. Now that again you got some separation from the film, but as a filmmaker, I know you're critical of your work. So what kind of things do you pick out now when you watch the film where you're like, maybe we could have done it a different way?
I don't know. Be honest to you, I won't criticize that. I think
Good.
because I think, I mean, of course, everyone does it a different way. At the end of the day, different eye, different point of view. I think, the success. The movie success, the idea, the culture. The way what we want, present to the audience. I think it's success. So I think the best way is to say we're doing right now, and then hopefully the audience understand more like this, and I think this, you cannot be one step and then on the top. I think if this is the first step, a baby step, I think they did a good job. So I won't say going to be a different way. I was just saying hopefully we go do SHANG CHI 2, 3, 4, and then keep improving every time, and give us more opportunity, because like I said, it's all opinion. It's very hard to say what is right or wrong, but success, it proved that it's something right already. So
Yeah,
that's my thing. I will moving forward and say, let's get the SHANG CHI 2 did right. That's all we need.
Get it more right?
Right, get more
Malay,
right,
go ahead. How about you?
more boss.
What can I say that Joseph hasn't said?
Hey, you
Uh,
have good taste, man.
yeah, actually, there was, I think there was like almost twice as much action in previous wise that we did for when we was versus Shang-Chi, and I was kind of a little disappointed not to see all of that work that everyone put in for that final. Um, but I understand it's a time and a pacing thing. Like you don't want the audience to get fatigued with
Yeah.
just 20 minutes of fighting. So
Yeah.
I understand that. But me
Plus the
personally, I would have
dragons.
loved just to see that, like watching the previous full and being able to see that in the actual picture, just to see what kind of work we had done would have been for a personal experience. I would have loved to see that. And then obviously I would have loved to see more of Guangbo stuff in the movie, but they're all chopped out. But what can I say? um, I think in terms of story, what I would have loved to see more was the dynamic between um, sister and brother.
Yeah.
That like her being alienated at a young age to where she is now. They talk about it, but I feel like there wasn't enough of that angst between them. Um, it was just kind of like, oh, I don't like you, and like here I'm gonna, in the next scene they're saving each other, type thing. I would have
Yeah.
loved to see just a little more bantering between them.
Yeah. I agree.
But overall, I think it's the villain. I love the villain's like his need for to do what he's doing. He's not an actually bad guy. He's just
Yeah.
he's lonely. The guy's lonely, and I love that it was something completely different than just I'm gonna take over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and what Annie said, like let's add on to what we already done in part one and just expand even more for part two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they can do without Trevor. I felt like at that part of the film it kind of dragged, and then I would have liked to see more between
Yeah, it dragged.
Sean
Yeah,
and Xialing.
yeah.
You know, and I felt okay. Sorry, one more thing. I felt like the scaffold fight had one too many video game cameras, which kind of lost my believability in the threat and danger in the scene. Just my personal taste, though. I know it has to be marvelly and fantastical. But yeah, just one too many video game cameras.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Andy, while you're still here, I asked the guys before. When you talk with people outside of the industry, when you talk with regular fans, what do they tell you was most impactful about the film for them?
Great. They love it. Mostly. I just hear the good side. Oh, I'm gone again.
No, you're there. You're there. You're there.
Yeah.
You're here.
Okay. I like a ninja. No, I will review, but I also go back to the China and look at the Chinese, the criticize thing. But mostly is a very, very positive. I think, like I said, Dustin and Brad, from the drama side, from the storytelling, from the action, I think we deliver something satisfy the audience. When they go in, they really sit down to watching the movie. I think they will enjoy it. Yeah, that's my feedback. I think like it's like the whole world. I think a lot of people agree with this. I think the only one I think I heard mostly they enjoy the beginning part. The bus, but when they go to the ending, when the monster come out, some people.
I think I know where he's going with that. I think he dropped out, but a lot of people think it separates them from the reality of the world because it's a little bit too
Grand.
Godzilla, right? Yeah. A little bit too big, maybe. But I'm on the side where I was like, I want more of that mythology represented on screen. So I thought it was awesome. And speaking for some regular fans, in this case, my daughters, when they found out that it was going to be on Disney Plus, they were sure to let me know that we are going to set aside a night to watch Shang-Chi a couple of times because they were so invested in the characters and the story. They love that whole brother-sister dynamic, and having some strong females to look up to on screen has captured them more. So that was again from some regular fans. You have some supporters there. So that's the kind of thing that I take away from it. But we're running out of time so quickly here. I want to talk to you guys about so much. But Andy, while you're here, can you give me one of your fondest memories from set that has nothing to do with the work that you were doing, or the action that you were designing? Just give me one of those cool memories from set that you can always look back fondly on. Oh man, he disappeared again.
He's a ninja, and he's a ninja.
Malay, your turn, because I was
He's
never.
gonna go coordinate something real quick. He'll be back.
That's okay. Malay, then how about you? What about you?
Fondest memories. Oh man. I think just being in the environment of being in a different country and learning Australian culture was kind of fun. And then seeing kangaroos pop in every now and then to say what's up and then leave. That was cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Not work related. I think that was, man, I think it's just the people. I love the people. They're cool. Everyone's hella down. Yeah, that's if we're trying to stay away from work stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just the environment. I love the environment. I'd go back like that. If someone's like, "Hey, you want to come to Australia?" Yeah, I'm going. Tell me when to get on that plane.
That's awesome, Joseph. How about you?
Well, my fondest memory, I think, would be actually shooting a test fight with Simu and his stunt double, Zach Wang.
Cool.
I thought it was cool to have them do something indie and just combine, both worlds. And yeah, I think that was fun. Yeah.
Nice. Andy, you there?
Don't go.
Oh no, what's happening?
Okay.
You're there, but
We hear you. We hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
I'm not moving. I'm trying to steady myself. Okay. Yeah.
Don't worry about the image. We can still hear you. So
in this, yeah, my best memory for this is, like I said, it's like I'm, you know, and so joyful to.
No. He's gonna have to type his
With,
answers.
Brad Allen.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if you hear that. Do you guys hear that?
No,
we
sadly.
lost a little bit of that, Andy, unfortunately.
Now.
All right.
Yes.
Let's
Try talking.
Yeah. You're flashing.
Oh man. Okay, wait, you're stable?
The best move.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right. Andy, if you can hear me, hold that thought for just 1 second. I'm gonna go to the other guys for a quick wrap up because we're running out of time. Give me an idea on what is going on with you. What are you working on now?
Joseph.
Oh shit. Okay. I am finishing editing a 30-minute short film called Twisting Tiger. And working on some pitches for features and a romantic drama. And right now I just want to take the most risk in terms of narrative storytelling before, the next action gig,
Very cool. Best of luck with that. Malay, what about you?
I'm trying to get back into the flow of just creating fight scenes, just so I won't get rusty. In the meantime, and also I've been developing a script with a buddy of mine. We're trying to shoot a full feature. We were supposed to do it actually in January, but everything's been pushed back so much because we have work schedules and stuff like that gets conflicted. So we may push it back a little more. The script's not even done, but I think that's my main goal right now. And at the same time, I'm trying to develop a new concept of action for this Cambodian film that I'll be action directing in a few months. The borders are opening now in Cambodia, so I don't know when we'll actually get to go and shoot. We've had troubles with COVID and all that, but
Yeah.
I think those are my main two projects that I'm really looking forward to doing.
Awesome. Andy, while we have you,
Yes.
I'm gonna give you the last words here. First, let me get your fondest memory again.
My best memory is my last time to work with Brad Allen. I mean, this is the best moment, for me. I will never have a chance to see him again, and I'm happy. I have the behind the scene now. I see him all the time. I think they will be forever. Because when we with Jackie, I don't have too many behind the scenes things back then. Very hard to find. I mean, this is a final capture for us. For me, that's the best moment. The movie is great, but the moment with this brother, is my last moment. So I'm really happy. At least I have a memory.
Yeah, again, an amazing legacy. And then finally, Andy, what are you working on now? What's going on with you?
I just finished the movie with Joseph. We just finished the Japanese animation movie turned live action. It's called SHANG CHI or Knights of the Zodiac. So they will come out 2013. That's my last project I just finished. And then my next thing is, you guys know recently I got the Bruce Lee Award.
Yes, congratulations. That was amazing.
Very cool. My next thing right now, I'm trying to do something with the Bruce Lee idea. Hope so. Never know. But something with that, because I feel like something now I have some response to present this martial art action genre for philosophy with the the legend Bruce Lee, and then of course my legend another legend live legend Jackie Chan. I think it's some reason give me this opportunity right now. Maybe the awards give me like a little bit more moderation, and suddenly I think maybe I should. I want to do drama. My eventually I want to go to drama, but I think maybe something. This is some message for me to do something for the martial art people, for the world, for the Asian, Chinese, and then want to tell the story more about what this legend, what his philosophy. Because I study a lot with him, a lot of things I learned from him, and I think right now this my next goal, I mean, movie I doing long enough, everything action, I'm satisfied, but maybe this is something try to satisfy another side of the world, a lot of young talent, a lot of people love Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. I think we need something more, to project more, as a martial artist, as an actor, or as a filmmaker, this martial art world or action world is really big, but really not. We always on onto the underdog level. Oh no.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, still good.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
yes.
So I think maybe that's why they still good. So let me keep saying this. Let's helping the Asian culture, martial art culture. Make it one family. We all live the earth. And we're all one family. It's no waste. Nothing, no color. It's like be water, right? Why be water? Because there's no color. It's not just formless.
Yeah.
You can be yellow. You can be black. It's all.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think this is something you can put into it any color you want, or you just say we don't have it. We all want, and then same thing the like he say the formless and shapeless is the same thing. We all one family. We live the earth.
Beautiful. That's beautiful, and that's a great place to end it right there. Joseph Lee, Malay Kim, Andy Cheng, thank you so much for coming back to talk about Shang-Chi. I think it's an important film, and I think it's going to open up a lot of doors. And I hope to see you all on Shang-Chi 2 and 3 and 4 and so on and so on. And best of luck with everything that you guys got going on. I'm going to throw it back to Demetrius. But guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Demetrius, you're on mute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you once again, Joseph Lee, Malay Kim, Andy Cheng, Jeff Vita. Thank you for taking us behind the action of Shang-Chi. Up next at 8 p.m., we've got the 35th anniversary of Big Trouble in Little China, featuring two of the three storms. We've got Peter Kwong, a.k.a. Rain, and we've got James Pax, a.k.a. Lightning. So we got Rain and Lightning coming up at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it. We got a lot of giveaways with that. We got some autograph photo giveaways. We got a 3D VR experience. But once again, thank you, gentlemen, for taking us behind the action. And we'll see you in about 2 hours. We'll see you then. Have a good evening.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.